Hey, my name's Demarcus Brown over at Crown Capital. Hope I didn't catch you at a bad time. I was hoping you had a couple minutes to talk about your property on 123 Main Street.
Yeah, I got about 10 minutes. I got to get my kids to school. So, yeah, what's up?
Hey, I wanted to see if you're still open to a cash offer on the property.
I'm sorry. Wait, how did you find me?
I have a team of investors who look at properties in the neighborhood, and yours actually just came across my desk. So I thought to give you a call to see if you're still open to a cash offer.
Oh, interesting. So did you talk to my agent?
Oh, so the property's listed on MLS?
No, no, no. It's not listed yet. But I have an agent. I was just curious if you had talked to my agent. If not, it's all right.
Yeah,
She
no, I wouldn't be able to talk to your agent without the property being listed on the market. I mean, are you
oh,
considering selling at the moment?
yeah, I am. I am actually.
Okay, for sure. But it looks like I caught you at the perfect time, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're getting it ready. We're getting it ready.
Okay. Are you the only decision maker on the property, or is there someone else we should add on the call?
No, I'm the only one.
Okay. Justin, while I take a look on my computer, can you catch me up to speed? What has you in the market to sell at the moment?
Well, again, I've been talking to my agent. We've got it off market. They're marketing it already off market to their I don't know how what my agent's doing exactly, but she's marketing it off market right now. But we're trying to get it ready for, you know, to list it. And with my conversations with her, we're at about 390 right now.
390. Gotcha, gotcha. Can you describe the condition of the property for me?
I mean, it's basically turnkey. I mean, so there's some stuff I would say probably it needs probably a little bit of paint. But other than that, it's pretty much turnkey.
Did you buy this property as an investment property or
No, that been living in it for the last about 7 years.
okay, gotcha, gotcha. So you did some light renovations as the homeowner of the property?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Did you do any major repairs like to the HVAC, kitchen remodel or anything like that?
We did the roof about I want to say probably about 5 years ago now.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Just taking some notes down. What made you want your like what made you consider to give this property to your agent to start marketing it off market for you?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm trying to sell it, so I just gave it to her. I just let she's a friend of mine, so and she offered to help. So
Gotcha. Okay, no worries. And if we came to, if we were a good fit for each other and we came to an agreement today, how soon would you be looking to sell the property?
it's gonna have to be at least another 30 days because I gotta get packed up. We're gonna have to get packed up and get my kids packed up and yeah, and moved out. But we could be if we came to an agreement today, I 30 days from now we could be out of the house.
Okay, for sure. So I'm taking a look, in the area, at properties in similar condition to yours. And honestly, it sounds like your property don't need much work. I personally think it makes more sense for you to list it.
Okay.
Okay, yep, no worries, brother. You say you have a good one
Yeah, you as well. Thanks for the call.
for sure. So honestly, Carlos, that's how I would do that. I wouldn't just because it
That's
was no
that's that's
motivation.
exactly what you want to do. No, you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
even trip.
so
That's exactly what you want to do, just so
Yep.
everybody can understand. Not every fucking lead's a lead, and I'm glad that Justin said it. Oh, how did you talk to my agent, Demarcus? He figured it out that wait, is it listed? No, it's not. The reality of this is Justin has been thinking about a route that's going to work for him. So meaning that if you do not give him the number, I'm going to show you guys what I break down in the training. There's something called BATNA that I break down in my acronym training in the Powerhouse Sales. And BATNA means it's BATNA, best alternative to negotiated agreement. And so if Demarcus didn't identify Justin had an agent or Justin didn't bring that up, but Justin would rather have gone that route because he hears 390. What happens is both people have a BATNA right now. Typically, it really depends. Justin has a Batnum, which means the plan B if the plan A doesn't go well. Plan A is what? Plan A is he's on the phone with DeMarcus, so hopefully plan A for DeMarcus and plan A for Justin is to get this done at the price that Justin wants it at. So if DeMarcus were to go deep into it and identify that, you know, that he can't buy this because his price isn't going to work, no matter if he gave him an offer, Justin would think, is that offer at 390 what I can get from an agent? And if it's not, I'd rather just go list this shit with an agent. That's my best alternative to this negotiated agreement. For
Yeah.
DeMarcus, if he went into this conversation, glad that he cut it off, but if he went into this conversation, you know, cash probably wouldn't have worked. And if he didn't have Novation or Creative as a second or third strategy to use, DeMarcus would have no BATNA. He would have no best alternative to this negotiated agreement. He'd be out. Now, if he picked up Novation and Creative, he has other alternatives. He just needs to find the best one. The thing is, he isn't an agent, which is the best route for this guy right here. So it's good that you did that, because we work these type of leads where you want to qualify to disqualify. There was no reason to run into a lead and continue to try to work something just because they answered it when they're telling you, hey man, I want 390, I'm just gonna list it. Like, that's most likely what's gonna happen, guys. So good stuff, DeMarcus, and I'm glad Justin that went that way. I wasn't expecting it to go that way, but glad that we did it.
Yeah, me either. I thought you were gonna give me a close, bro.
Yeah. That's all right. We can do trust me, you know, we can do like pain. I got like a ton of pain and I need
No, it was cool. It was a little, you know, mix up, but it's all good. We'll get to the next, we'll go on another round with 2 new people, but good stuff. I'm glad that it went that way, right? Because that would have been me already. I was already writing that down. So if DeMarcus kept going, I would have been bringing that up on the criticism part at the end of the call. Yeah, cool. Yep. All right, let's get 2 more people. Who's available? Who we got? Rick, you want to be a seller on one, and a buyer?
My bad. I got you guys in the background. I'm right now I'm watching the little baby, but I can go on the next one.
All right, cool, no problem. Let's see. What's up, Dan? What's up, Angel? You guys ready to rock, or Randy? One of you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, Randy, let's hear you, man. Randy was hitting me up in the chat. He's like, turn up the heat on him, man.
Turn up the heat. Yeah. But let's get it, guys. Let's get somebody in here to be a buyer. Somebody step up to the table.
Oh man.
You guys got this. You guys got to come on. We're right here to help each other train and learn. Remember, we're taking you from where you stand and pushing you, right? We're here for you guys. So let's get, a seller is easy to get, but let's get a buyer. Boom.
I got you.
There we go. There it is. We got Randy acting as the buyer. Now we just need a seller here.
Go for it, Randy. I'll be your seller.
What a G. Okay, so Randy and Pansy. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna use an ARV of 400,000 with 1,700 square feet, just in case you need to run like rehab estimates. And Pansy, it's up to you, you know, if you want to sell this thing for a cash offer or if you want like full market price or whatever. It's up to you, okay?
Okay.
So Randy, when you're ready, I'm going to put myself on mute and then you guys go for it.
Are you there, Randy?
Yeah, I'm here. Just getting this down. Okay. Ring.
Hello.
Hello, Pansy. This here is Randy. I was calling about your property on 123 Main. Did you get it sold yet?
No, I have not. How did you get my number?
Oh, you know, the yellow pages, they're online now.
The yellow pages? I haven't heard that in a long time. That's good. Okay, so
But you do want to sell your house at 123 Main, right?
I do want to sell my house at 123 Main.
Okay. So what do you want to get out of it?
What do you mean? What do I want to get out of it? I want to get my amount that I've put into it out of it. What does any homeowner want?
Yeah, well, just to see if I'm a good fit as a buyer, I was just wanting to see how much you're wanting to take.
Well, I'm not going to take like half of what it's worth. I mean, I put a lot of time into it.
Okay, not gonna take half. So tell me what's good with it.
What's good with it? It's it's in a great location. It's been updated in the last like 5 years. There's not a whole lot that needs to be done to it.
Updated in the last 5 years.
Well, except for like some of the major stuff.
Oh, major stuff, huh? Like HVAC.
Yeah.
And what about the age of the roof?
I think it's like 10 years old.
Yeah, got it. Okay. So what was it that got you thinking about selling?
I want to move.
Do you want to move?
Yes. Do you have an offer?
Well, I might. I just need to get a little bit more information and then I could come up with the offer. And so you mentioned you're looking to move. You got your next place figured out, or how's that looking?
No, I'm going to be a traveling wanderer nomad.
Traveling wander nomad. Okay, got it. Okay, so I mean, what's the best you can do?
But I don't know what's the best you could do. You called me.
Right, I get that. But most of the time when a seller wants to sell, they have a price in mind and they don't mind telling me. So if I could hear an offer, I could come up with the offer.
Well, I mean, my agent friend that has sold many houses in the area is telling me that I have an ARV of 400,000.
400,000?
Yes.
400,000 cash? And
Well, yeah, minus the mortgage payment that's owed.
so it is listed. You're listing it with the agent.
I have not yet. I'm considering it. She says she could get me close to 400,000.
Yeah, that'd probably be your best bet because at 400 cash, I'm probably not a good fit. However, if you were interested in getting something closer to your purchase price, we could maybe have a conversation on terms.
What terms? What do you mean terms?
Well, I could use this moment to plant some seeds and offer terms. And so basically what terms are, I mean, real quick view of it would be where I pay over time.
I don't know if that would work because I need money to travel.
Need money to travel, but it's like,
Yeah, I just said I was going to be a nomad.
okay, got it. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm just not a good fit as a buyer on this one. So good
Okay,
luck, Julia, and have a good day.
Good day. Bye.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right, guys. So who has any comments or any feedback for the call?
So I do. Good job, by the way, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Good job, man.
So as far as my feedback, let's see. So I really like your style, bro. How you put it on the seller and like you questioned the seller to kind of reverse, like a Uno reverse, and kind of like, why should I buy your property? Why is it good enough? You know, and then also I like the yellow pages. I really like that. You don't dance around and you just keep it pushing. And as far as like my criticism, you don't know how much money she needs to travel. You should have dug a little deeper with that. But other than that, good job, bro.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Anybody else?
Now, I was gonna say, like, calling, direct to seller hasn't been my thing for a little while, but I would have said the same thing. Like, just did like ask her, how much do you need to try? Like, how much are you looking to get for your travel expenses? And also, where are you looking to buy? Maybe we can help you find something in the area that you're looking.
Mm, right. That's a good one.
Hey,
What I like,
Randy.
what I like, man, is that you remind me of like RJ Bates, like how he's so straightforward, you know? He's
Yeah.
so he's like kick back, not in distress voice, nothing. I might have an offer for you. You know, he's so straightforward, and everybody has their own style.
Uh-huh.
And then I also like that you use that, like you repeat the last words they use after every sentence. Like I need 400,000 cash. Like you would use everything that they were saying just as basically like repeating it back to them, regurgitating it back to them. Did anybody notice that he did that on everything? And she would kind of come back with a different answer or kind of like relax a little bit and then clarify some stuff.
Yeah, like you repaired it in the last 5 years.
Yeah. I would say now to add to those, I would dig in a little deeper, right? As far as repairs, like what did you repair, right? I asked a little bit more questions in the conditions for the fact that we also do novation, and novations you run off of as is value, not ARV. So we do ask more questions like, when did you buy the house? In the last 5 years, have you renovated the floors, the kitchens, and the restrooms? Oh, you have? What did you do? Cabinets, what did you do? Backsplash? Like we start asking, right? And then same thing, you can ask about the foundation, the structure of the property, the roof, the condition of it, HVAC system if they have that. And then so you gather all this information so you can identify if the ARV doesn't work and you have to go into novation. You kind of get a good understanding of where it's at.
Sure.
I would have just dug in maybe a little bit more on questions. And then the same thing, or it comes down when you're disqualifying, like as far as okay, cash didn't work or whatnot. Going into the creative, I would have then said, okay, because you know that we can pay 400,000 on creative, just really depends on terms. I would have asked, the same thing DeMarcus said as far as how much money did she need down. And then other than that, it was pretty good. We have a little bit of a different of a process, but other than that, it was pretty good. I just would have done those things differently.
I have something to say.
Sure.
Randy, yeah, the beginning of the call, you started off sounding really confident and strong in your voice, but it changed somewhere and you didn't sound as confident.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would just say to keep that energy that you had in the beginning, the way you started off, to try to keep that going.
Sure.
Because, honestly, I'm a tough one. I get like sales type calls and stuff all the time, and I answer them. And if, I'll listen to the person, but not all the time. It depends on what they sound like when they first get me on the phone, how long
Sure,
I'll
sure.
listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just, yeah, the energy you brought in the very beginning of the call is what you need to keep during the call, because that was really, if you would have called me, I would have stuck on the phone through that energy, but then it changed and I would have probably been like, you know what, Randy, I got to go. Bye.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, Randy, I really like your just straightforward, no bullshit.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that part of it a lot.
There are all types of closers out there, guys. You don't need a script. You don't need a flow chart to be a good closer. You see them all out there, right? Some people don't know. That's why they need to train with other people, but everything could be done. And the straightforward way is a good way to go. I've seen it happen from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Let's get
It's been my experience that I want to get to the price as fast, because most of the time people love talking about how much they think their property is worth. So I kind of caught on to that, and then I have something to rely the rest of the call on, is that price, because right away if they start talking some crazy stuff, then I know, and in respect to my own time, then I can get off the phone real quick. So
that's exactly what you wanted to do. Like, how you asked her, like, what are you looking for? And then she said, well, you called me. Just, well, hey, typically homeowners who want to sell, they know a price. Like, that's a good way to go. You want to get it out of them. I ask that too. And sometimes they tell me that. And I'll tell them, Look, I mean, it could be easier for you to just tell me the number so I can underwrite it to see if we can give you that, so I don't have to go do this extra work. And at the end of the day, you're going to decline me if it doesn't work. You know, so you can say shit like that too.
Sure.
I have a little bit of like a flow. Or I have a flow chart. Everybody knows that. And so within that flow chart, I like going through it. Like here, I'll share screen real quick. This is my updated flow chart. I add Novation and I switched around some of the shit that if you guys see some of the flow chart on my YouTube channel, this is not that one. This is the updated one. But basically, we'll get into the motivation of things, right? As far as like, once you find out that that's John or that's Randy, and then, you know, you find out if there's any other decision makers and they're looking to sell and blah, blah, blah. Then we go into the motivation, which I'll let them know, like, hey, when I look up your address on my computer, can you tell me what has you considering selling the property? I'm legit telling them I'm comping it. So they're talking to me. And in between talking to me, they're going to tell me why they want to sell. I'm going to repeat that to them, just like how Randy did. Hey, so at the end of the day, it sounds like you're just wanting to move because you have your grandkids over here now and you want to get closer, right? That's pretty important to you. Or I'm a tired landlord, whatever it is, we dig in. So flowcharts are great, but you still need to dig in per section. So they say I'm a tired landlord. It's your duty to ask why. Why are you being tired? You're just ready to retire, or your tenant's not taking care of their obligations. Like, what's going on? Dive into that. Then we go into, I like to set expectations and explain business models because it's a qualified to disqualify type of flowchart where I set expectations, let them know that I may or may not buy the property, and then I explain on how I buy. But I only explain cash. I don't explain all the other routes. So then I'll say something like, all right, cool. Well, hey, Randy, I'll be transparent with you so we don't waste time. We'd love to purchase each property that we look at. It's just unfortunate that we can't. As an investment company, we're only looking to purchase properties using cash or creative offers that fit our business models. And then we move into explaining our business model. Now on my script, I reduce this and now I say shit like, hey, yeah, we're typically the investment company that gets called in to buy any property at any price point. It just depends on which programs we're going to use in today's market. We roll into explaining business models. I don't give that as like a deciding factor. We roll right into this. Right after I end that, hey, it just depends on which programs are going to qualify for your property. I then go into, so before we move forward, I'm going to go over some of the business models to see if we're even compatible. So we do purchase using several strategies. Cash is typically preferred by the majority of sellers. When we buy properties using cash, typically look for something that we can fix and flip and make a profit at the end of the day, right? Does your property qualify for that model? Or is this something you'd rather list with an agent on market and get a premium, right? And that will help you know if Justin over here was going to list it or not. So you don't have to push yourself all the way forward through a call where you know if you're not going to give them their full offer that they're looking for, that they're just going to go do what they were going to do before you called them, right? So then we go into timelines. So remember, steps 2 and steps 3, set expectations, explain business models. You got to do your own thing. This is just the way I do things. We go into timeline. I like timeline. Hey, so if we were to come to an agreement on the price in terms of work for you, how much time would you need to move things out and vacate? Okay, cool. And would there be anything that would stop you from moving forward with the paperwork today, right? And you try to get a commitment. You qualify at first by asking them how much time they need. Then you qualify in the commitment as well. And then we roll back up. Goals with money. I like to ask this so then I can use this towards the call. During the call, I try to curate the call with their goals in mind too. It's easier if you can keep the seller in mind, their goals in mind, and if you have a program that can get them their price, I guarantee you it's a lot easier of a call. Go over the goals. It's just simple, like, hey, so what are your goals with the money once you sell it? You're gonna invest it in your property, take a vacation, pay some bills. What's your goals here? We go into the condition. We go into the condition of things. Where the hell? And condition is where I have all those questions. Like I was saying, blah, 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 blah. We roll into the price. Hey, so this property might fit our cash program or it might fit our model or whatever. I usually just ask them like, hey, so what is the overall number you're looking to get after all expenses are paid? They might tell you, they might not. We go soft anchor. From soft anchor, we'll come up and hit the MAO. Then we rule ourselves out as cash buyers. So if our cash doesn't work, cool, we're gonna rule ourselves out as a cash buyer. I still use the process, and most of the time, like sometimes you get the straightforward people that are savvy and you kind of maneuver around your process, but typically I stick to the process.
Hey Carlos, what would a soft anchor sound like? What, like?
Tulos, can you share the chart? So a soft anchor would be like this, man. So like, let's say that your ARV is 300,000, right? Let's say that your ARV is $300,000 and you identify the house doesn't need a lot of work and your maximum allowable offer is, let's say it's 200,000, okay?
Mhm.
So a soft anchor would be lower than your MAO. So an example, if I went in and I was asking what he was looking for, Randy, what are you looking for at the price? And he said, well, I know they can sell for 300. Mine's not in $300,000 value. I'll sell it to you for 270. Okay, that 270 scares people to give their offer because they know, oh fuck, I have to be at 200. And then when they do give the offer, they give the maximum offer, so there's no wiggle room. So you're out if they say no.
Yeah.
You know? And so a soft anchor is you coming in and doing exactly that. So let's say your MAO is 200. I would say some shit like, hey, I'm still under, this is exactly what I have in my script when it comes down to giving our lower offer. Hey, Justin, we're still getting this property underwritten as we speak. But by the way, one approval did come in right now. And we go over that offer. We did get an approval that came in right now for a full cash offer, and it came in at 175, maybe 180 if I can get a little squeeze out of there. 175, $180,000. What does that work for you?
Right.
And
I would say no.
yeah, and then they say no, and I say, hey, I totally get it. It isn't our final offer, but it is required for us to present every approval that comes in. Kind of just like an agent, right, guys? Agents are supposed to submit all the offers that come in from potential buyers to their seller. Well, I just say that. And then what I do is I had taken in the condition section, I take questions from the conditions and I have to hold for after the soft anchor. So then I say shit like this right after is, hey, that I know that program, that structure typically only works best for fix and flips. Yours doesn't seem like it's going to be a complete renovation or fix and flip. So let's just cross that one out. By the way, I forgot to ask a couple questions to see if your property qualifies for any incentives that we can bundle with our cash programs. Hey, what about the foundation? Is there any cracks in the foundation or the structure of the property? Are the bones good, or would I need to have that fixed up? Okay. And what about the HVAC system? Is it, do I need to replace it, or is it even an HVAC system, or is it central air and heating? All right, cool. Hey, you qualified for our equity boost incentive. You know how wholesalers, guys, how they're like, hey, they call in and they're automatically giving away these tools like, hey, I buy properties cash and we don't use agents, so I'll save you on commissions and we can pay your closing costs and blah, blah, blah. Well, I use that as the equity boost from a soft anchor to the MAO. Hey, man, so you know what, Justin? Your property was approved for our equity boost incentive, which basically allows us to come in with a higher offer. We're going to go ahead and we're not going to use any agents, so we'll save you your commissions. We're going to pay for your closing costs. We'll still close on your timeline and everything, and then we give them the MAO basically. Hey, and now you were approved for a full cash offer of closer to $200,000 or around $200,000, right? You just gave your regular MAO at that point. All I did was be strategic, just fucking added 2 questions, acted like we had an incentive program, and then just threw that in there as your MAO, really. And then after the MAO, if it doesn't work, I rule myself out as a cash buyer, like 10 to 2, and it correlates 10 to 2 right here, like and 3, because I rule myself out as a cash buyer. I typically can buy any property at any price point, depends on which programs, and here's how I buy. And if I can't, I'll rule myself out right here. And I'll say, hey, you know what? You remember in the beginning of the call where I say I may or may not be able to buy every property, but right now I can't buy this property cash. I'm going to ask you again, would you rather just list the property? That's going to be the route to get you a higher cash offer. If they say no, we're rolling into novation. We go and give our novation pitch, which is just a higher cash offer. Then we go into disqualify listing it and renting it. Obviously, if it's listed, you're not going to do that. But you disqualify listing it for them because that's what they would rather do. Disqualify renting it because that's another stage they would rather do before creative finance. It's cash. The cash might work. If not, there are other ways the homeowner would rather keep it or sell it. They'd list it or rent it out. Then we go into the last resort we have, which is terms. We state terms like, hey, the only way that we can purchase this property at that price. See, the thing is, we're using a policy basically. We're giving them, we're not like saying that, hey, are you open to selling this way because it could work in your favor? No, we kind of tell them, fuck it. We've already ran through all our options. We probably sound more professional on the phone anyways because we're running through so many options. But what happens is when we run through this, we kind of tell them, yes, we can give you your price, but everything else has to line up for both of us a little bit. So it's not just us on the terms, but our terms do need to make sense for us. So I'll say something like, yeah, Randy, you know what? The only program that we have in which we can give you that 300 or that 290 or close to it is our terms program. Have you ever sold anything on terms before? Do you understand how that works? Most times they're like, no. I say some simple shit like this. It's exactly how you buy your house. It's very, very similar to how you buy your house and your car, right? You might have even sold your friends and family some gym equipment, some furniture, a car on the pass on payments. That's exactly what this is. You just didn't know about it or did any paperwork for it. And then I'll dive in the script. I basically will say, yeah, it's the program in which we can give you the highest possible offer or highest possible value, and at times we can provide tax savings. Then I say, essentially, for this to work for a win-win situation, we become landlords and we rent it out instead of flip it for a profit. Our payment every month needs to be less than what we could turn around and rent it out for. So our tenant can keep this a positive asset and not be a negative asset. So we're not losing as investors. So they understand how it works for us. Hey, we give you your price, but we need some terms to make it make sense for us because we're no longer flipping it. We're going to be landlords on it. Once we explain that, they're going to tell you no, or they're going to go yes. If they go yes, this right here, 15 through 21, is going to help you gather all the information you're going to need to underwrite the deal. Meaning, what's the mortgage rate or whatever? Hey, do you have a mortgage on this property? Okay. And is there any other underlying debt, solar panels, batteries, or whatever, any other liens on the property? All right. Get the interest rates, everything. Get the principal, interest, tax, and insurance to the mortgage if there is one. Get the principal and interest payments to the solar panels or to whatever else is there if there is one. I like to ask them what the market rents are so I can identify, hey, if they want 290,000 and their mortgage is 100,000 and the rate's 2% and their payment is $1,000 altogether, and I'm like, hey, by chance, Randy, do you know what the market rents are in the area? Most times they'll see and they'll know. If not, we do our own due diligence. Let's say he says 2,200. Right now, you've identified $1,000 and 2,200. There's a $1,200 spread. You're doing back of the napkin underwriting as you're going, so you know there's $1,200 right there. But you still have to make a payment to his equity. Now we roll over amount needed for goals, right? So we went over these goals earlier. So we're going to use this when we come down to give them a down payment. So when we talk about, hey, it's kind of like buying a car or a house, I line it up like that because most of the time they're going to think, oh, well, when I bought my car or house, I put a down payment. So they'll most likely bring up a down payment because most of the time homeowners who are selling, they want money anyways. But a lot of the time they don't remember or even know about adding an interest rate to their equity. So we'll skip the interest rate. But a lot of times the down payment will be brought up in this area when you're explaining how it works. Sometimes they'll say, well, hey, I remember I bought a car and a house and I put a down payment. How much money are you going to give it? How much money are you giving me down? Just respond with, yeah, we can put some money down. Before we do that, let me go over some questions for you. So now if they do want a down payment, we're going to go over that right here. A 19 over the goals that we covered. If they did not bring up a down payment, fuck this step right here, 19. Don't even bring it up. You're not going to give them a down payment. But an example, the amount of money needed for goals, if they had said, hey, well, you know what, I'm just trying to, I want to be a nomad, right? I want to vacation, I want to travel now. That's when you bring it back up after the down payment part right here. You tell them you'll get to it in a little bit. Then you bring it back. So, hey, Pansy, I know that you wanted to go and travel and become a nomad. How much money did you need in your pocket, especially knowing that this isn't all cash, right? And I can give you a down payment. How much money did you need in your pocket to get that started and going? Well, I was thinking about, $20,000, $30,000. Listen, if you don't understand how much money can be put into a deal, it's okay. You don't need to decline them all the way right away, unless you know it's fucking ridiculous. But if you truly don't understand it, write it down and say, great, I'm going to go ahead and get this underwritten so we can see if we can get you that $30,000, okay? And then we go into the monthly installments, right? And with the monthly installments, it's like saying like, hey, now knowing, here, let me go ahead and write it down or go right here. knowing that I need to make some positive cash flow for me to justify this higher purchase price, how much are you willing to accept from me monthly, knowing that I still need to make money every month, and knowing the market rent is $2,200? You told them that, you know, your payment's $1,000, market rent's 22. Potentially there's $1,200 in here, Randy. I need to eat. That's where I make my money, in that $1,200, but I still owe you a payment. See, this is for students who are learning how to put terms together, because not everybody knows how to create the term. As you start underwriting, you'll learn what to put yourself. You'll learn, hey, this is the term I need for it to work. Right now, when we're not understanding on how to underwrite and put terms together, just gather it, ask it, and then bring it to somebody else, or maybe you can underwrite it and it makes sense right away. Let's say that Pansy says 600, well, there's 1,200. What if we split that? Is that fair for you, Carlos? Well, typically we do like a 60-40, so I can get you like 450, 500, and I take like 7+, right? And just try to maneuver it like that, right? And if not, then if you know how to underwrite, then you put your terms together. But you can gather it. Length of financing, guys. Hey, do you remember, Pansy, how I said that this is just like financing your car or house? Well, how long are you willing to finance me for? You can keep it in lane with this, guys. Like, you know, when people buy cars, they usually put a little bit of money down to get shorter terms. The goal is to get as long as possible, but if it comes down where you don't know how to do that yet, you can say like, hey, it's similar to cars, you know, which are like, you know, 5, 6, 7+ years, depending on those smaller down payments. And houses are more like 20 to 30 years when you're putting larger payments down, somewhere in between those lines. So they start to think, oh shit, well, I asked him for 25 grand, and most people don't put that on a car. So I have to probably be over the 5 to 7 year mark. Carlos, can you do 10 years? I know 20 and 30, but I know that I'm over the car. And so you'll get people to do that, right? Cool. You write that down. And now you just go over the terms you were given. All right, Randy, real quick. So this purchase price is $290,000, right? We're going to be giving you a $20,000 down payment. The interest rate, I only want you to bring this up if you had negotiated one on the equity. If you didn't negotiate one on the equity, don't bring this motherfucker up. I don't need you to bring up the 2.1% rate on their mortgage. You talk about that shit when you're talking about the mortgage. Hey, my God, that's a great rate. I can't wait to buy that. You don't bring it back up unless they tell you, oh, you're responsible to my mortgage and the rate. Yes, we are. Don't bring up the rate. If you have to put a rate in there, go ahead. If it's negotiable, if you need to. So we'll go over, hey, $290,000 purchase price, $20,000 down, and the payment to you each month is going to be roughly like $1,500, right? $1,000 covers your mortgage, and then $500 goes to your equity. I take the difference, and then you're willing to finance me for about 10 years. Does that sound about right? Yeah. And then you just go ahead and go in over any questions and concerns, close the deal. I have that in a flow chart for people, and then I enhance it by putting it into a whole script, a 4-step script that's even more enhanced on the verbiage, shorter frame and stuff like that. But that's kind of the way that I will maneuver through a phone call, and I'll have my team maneuver through a phone call. And not everybody has to do this shit. Not everybody has to do this. Everybody has their own way of closing deals. Everybody has their own way of getting to the end goal. Like I said, RJ Bates doesn't have to do any of that shit. He does deals all day, right? I want to be a sales firm. I like sales. I have a sales process. I want to teach a process in which I learned in the car industry and other industries, and I want to continue to do that, right? And so I put this out there for my own. I created it on my own. How did I create this? I would take a lot of JV leads from people in the beginning last year, and I would go through a lot of calls that weren't really leads, that, you know, I was going 5, 6 follow-ups later, and they would rather list it for sale or for rent. So I started setting expectations, asking questions up front, laying shit down. Some people could say, hey man, that's a little lengthy. You're right, but I guarantee you this, homie, that every phone call that does go the distance takes you 30, 45 minutes, an hour. So you might as well have some shit to say on the phone. You might as well be able to structure it. It's kind of like Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, how he has a straight line system. Everything from point A to point Z, it's a straight line, but in reality, it's going to look like a car graph or whatever you call it, a cardiograph. A lot of lines up and down because a seller may take you all over the place. And if you're not confident enough and you're not proficient enough and you don't understand how to control a conversation with questions, what's going to happen when they take you to fairyland in a story that they're talking about, and now you forget what you should have asked because you're so new or you may not know what to ask. It's hard for people to get good quickly without things like this. I'm not saying you can't get it done because practice helps. This is just what I put together in my own flow chart. I have this flow chart. I have it on YouTube. I only have the Cash to Creative one on on YouTube. So it's not it's just, it's 24 steps like this, looks similar, but some of the steps are rearranged, updated, and then we added a couple things in this new one I just showed you right now. But yeah, guys, that's kind of how I walk through calls, and it's different if I'm scheduled for a call to come into a call for creative or something specific.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
that's
guys,
amazing.
that's kind of what I run through.
Yeah, that's amazing. I really like how you set those expectations like really early on in the call.
Yeah, so I'm getting a little thick too. But yeah, no, that's kind of what I do. Everybody can do anything different. I'm just here to see if I can provide any value to you guys.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, man, that was great. I appreciate that.
Thank you, guys. Thanks,
Yeah,
Randy.
hey Carlos, I gotta jump, but thank you so much, man, for what you do, man. I appreciate you. And
No, thank you. Hit
be
me up.
back
I'll text you a little bit later to see if we can work on that deal.
yeah. Let's do that. I want to talk to you about that rap and Heather too. So
Okay.
cool.
Cool, brother. Take
All
it
right,
easy.
man. See
Thanks,
ya.
Randy. Yeah. All right, guys, let's do one more role play. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it could be buyer or seller, whatever works out for the audience, Carlos.
What's up?
What's going on? I could be buyer or seller, whatever works out for the audience.
You want to be a buyer?
Yeah, whichever works. Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's end it up with him being a buyer. Dan will be a buyer. Let me get a seller up here. Did you guys like that flow chart? Did it make sense to you guys?
Yeah, bro, that thing works.
Yeah,
man.
it did, bro.
Yeah. You could tell DeMarcus how that's in the script, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I can a lot.
Yeah, so I'll show you some more stuff, guys, as we go, as we do this, we get into it. As we go on, like, we have our Saturday trainings too, where we get like really enhanced in sales. So like I'm not a guru in real estate, but I'm learning a lot in sales. So if you guys want to learn not only role play, but you want to learn enhanced innovation pitches and creative pitches and overcoming and how to put terms together, come in on Saturdays too. Like I'll have that for the Powerhouse or JV partners, people I do deals with. And I plan, like I like working with you guys with goals of working with you guys on deals too. I'd love to work deals with you guys, love to train, love to learn from you guys too. I pick up little shit that when you guys role play, there's things that you guys say that I've never said or never heard, so I'll add some shit too. I'm a student. I'm always going to be a student to game, especially free game.
Right, man. Yeah, man, I still use the old flow chart that you gave us back then.
Man, I created that flow chart a year and 2 months ago. It was like, I think I was like 8 months in, 9 months in, 8 months in when I created it. It helped me. It helped me out. Cool. So we'll do this. Dan, you'll be the buyer. Can I get somebody to be a seller for me on this last round we have right here?
I can be the seller.
Okay. Patricia seller. Okay. So we'll use an ARV of 350,000. We'll go 1,500 square feet. Patricia, it's up to you. Dan, are you, do you pitch creative as well, or is it more cash?
Yeah, I could do both, whatever falls in. I could do the whole thing if you want.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's go into, so then Patricia, it's up to you. You know, if you're going to want to give him a low cash offer, or if you're going to want like maximum price, you create the story and we can go from there. So I'll go ahead and put myself on mute. And you guys
So
are
if I give the higher price, then that's when creative finance is considered. Is that how that's pretty much
yeah,
how
that's how it works
right?
right now in today's market with the interest rates being so high, because I could see, you know, a market price may work if there was, you know, 1%, 2%, 3% interest rates still out there for buy and holders. But right now it's just very hard for that to happen for buy and holders. Yeah, so if it's going, when you stand firm on a higher offer, like 85, 90+% of the market value. It's hard for investors right now to make it happen unless going creative.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on mute.
Good. Sounds good. Are you ready, Patricia?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome, Ray Ray.
Hello.
Hey, Patricia, this is Dan speaking. How's it going today?
Okay. Where'd you get my number?
Hey, yeah, so we just look at it on online a real estate database that we use. So just curious, your property on 123 Main Street, are you still trying to sell that property?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Awesome. All right. Let me just take up like 10 minutes of your time, and then let's see if I could be a good buyer for you or not.
Okay, well, I was considering putting it on the market because I want to
On the
get as
market?
much as I can. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Perfect. Seems like I called you at the right time then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. So just to let you know up front, I may or may not be a buyer. I try to purchase every property, but let's see if we could work out something together, right?
Okay.
All right. So we do have a few purchase methods to buy a property. We tend to look for properties that have some late remodels into it and then fix it up for a profit. Is this something that would fit our business model, or would you rather list it with a agent?
Well, I did some fixing up on my own. You know, I did some fixing up on the property. So I want to get as much as I can for it.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. And then say we used to come to agreement, how long of a time frame do you need to vacate the property, unless it is vacated right now?
Oh no, I'm still living there. Probably in about 2 months.
2 months?
You know, I'm looking to get out. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So as regards to the conditions, so you kind of answered this for me. So everything's updated. Did you guys like fix the kitchen and bath to like 2023 standards, or is it still the condition that you guys purchased it in?
No, it's not the condition when we purchased it. So there was some upgrades done, like new appliances and stuff like that in the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Some of the in the bathroom, some stuff was, you know, updated.
Mm-hmm.
And we had
All
to
right,
get some
perfect.
service done on our HVAC. So, you know, it's in pretty good condition.
Nice. So basically everything's pretty much updated, is ready to move in.
Yes, correct.
All right, awesome. So you stated that you want to sell it with a real estate agent. How much were you thinking of them?
I wanted as close to the market value as possible, like maybe 325.
325.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jeez. So if we used to purchase this cash, to be honest, Patricia, honestly, this probably wouldn't work out for us. We'll probably have a ballpark range of offer of I don't know, probably like 200 to 225. Is that something?
Oh no, that will not work for me. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I totally get it. I completely get it. If you can get this off your hands within 30 days, cash with everything, us taking care of closing costs and fees, how close can you get to the 225?
Okay, well that's like 100,000 less than I want. So
I understand.
I don't think this is gonna work for me.
No worries. But I did state that we do have a few methods of
system two.
but, yeah, so we do have a few methods of purchasing properties. And I did say that cash might not be the best route for us. The only way I could justify paying that 325 is to like purchase this on terms. You ever heard anything about that or understand how that works?
No, I'm not familiar. What do you mean on terms? With who? Are you going to buy it and live in it and pay me? Is that like renting? Is that what you mean?
Let me break it down for you, just very high level. So basically, just payments over time. Like you ever like financed a car, Patricia?
Mm-hmm. I have.
Yeah, basically same method. You just basically provide them a down payment, and then you guys to come to agreement of a monthly payment that works for both you guys. So basically, that's that system.
Okay, so with a car, it's usually like what, like 4 or 5 years? So does that mean it's gonna be like a really high monthly payment?
Oh no, it all depends. Right now, we're just brainstorming some numbers. So I just
Okay.
want to get a feel what works out for you. So we're just having a simple chat right now.
Okay,
let me ask
okay.
you, do you still have a mortgage on this?
Most of the mortgage is paid.
Oh, it's paid
I
off?
have maybe about, it's almost paid off. I have maybe about 10 years left.
10 years? So what you say, about $50,000 left in mortgage?
A little bit more than that, but yeah, about that.
All right, so let's say $75,000 in mortgages. Do you know by chance, do you remember the monthly payment for that? So like the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, all that stuff?
Okay, so each month I pay like maybe 1800.
1800? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, what about the interest rate? It seems like you purchase this at a good rate. It has to be under like 4%, right?
It is. Yeah.
What you think is like 3%, 3.5? What
Like
does
like 3.5.
all right. All right, that's a really good interest rate, Patricia.
Yeah.
Awesome. But by chance, in the neighborhood, if you used to purchase this property, do you know how much we could get this rented out for?
Um, no, I'm not really sure because I never really looked into that.
Yeah, I'm
Mm.
just doing a quick check right now. I just wanted to confirm. So we could probably get. It seems like $2,500 to $2,800 a rent. Does that seem accurate?
Probably, yeah, because it's a good school district and everything. It's a nice neighborhood.
Okay, cool. So let's put let me write that amount down and see if that could work out for us. So where I'm trying to get at, Patricia, if we could try to come to your asking price of 325, what about you just let us take over that mortgage payment and then pay you your equity over time? Would that work out for you?
Um, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about that. Can we maybe talk a little bit about what that looks like because I've had it all this time. I know I have a lot of equity in it and I'm just, a little bit nervous. So maybe you can make me feel a little bit better about it with more
Oh yeah.
explanation at another
Uh,
time.
no. Let me just spend like 2 more minutes, and then maybe you could just try to speak to your husband or any significant other and speak about it, just to give you a better understanding about it. Well, let me give you just like a high level information on it. Say, for instance, we do take over this mortgage and give you some monthly payments. All we really look at is the how much we could get for rent, and then the amount on money that we give you per month. So we just need a cash flow on this. So
Hmm.
say hypothetical, how much is a comfortable number for you to take each month from us? Like say like $1,000. Is that fine? 500 to $1,000?
Um, so I just have one question. So will the mortgage still be in my name and like the monthly payments will be just continued? Is that what you're saying? And then
Yeah,
I get the difference?
right, exactly. So that's a good question. So you're probably concerned of why it needs to stay under your name, or what happens if you don't make the monthly payments.
Right, because I don't want my credit to get messed up.
No, absolutely. So actually, this would actually increase your credit because we actually hire a servicing company, and their only job is basically to take the monthly payment from us, and then they pay
Hmm.
you. So they act like a title and escrow company. We don't at all send the money to you so that you could have the hassle of, waiting for us. So we have everything documented like that.
Okay. All right.
And
So,
if for instance, that's very good.
okay. No. I was gonna say, so what about, you said how much would I want each month? That's what you were asking me before?
Yeah, so we're just discussing like the terms, like how you guys discussed the financing side on the purchase of the cars.
Oh,
So we
okay,
we would
sorry.
discuss how many years we would pay you. Let's say let's give it like 5 to 7 years is sometimes we aim for like 10 years. Whatever you're comfortable with. What do you think would you be comfortable with?
Maybe the 10 years, since that's about how much is left on the mortgage.
Okay. So 10 years, and then we'll give you a monthly payment. Would you be comfortable with something within like 500? We just need to make cash flow on our end. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
Okay. So $500 each month, and then we would also take care of the $1,800 mortgage that we have from you. So that would lead us off to about $2,300. So if I won't take up much of your time, if I could get this approved by my partners, is this something you'd be willing to consider?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
This might take multiple phone calls. Sometimes this is not traditional. Not a lot of people are really familiar with this purchase, but this is the best way we could offer you the highest price over majority people. And then just speak, like I said, speak to your husband about it, and then we can have another conversation in the next day or so. Is that all
Okay,
right?
and so I'll be able to leave in 2 months. I'll have the 2 months, so I can find some place to move to and everything like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Whatever timeline you need, 2 months is probably, yeah, that's pretty fair for us, and then we could try to get back on that. Do you have any
Okay.
other questions for me?
I'm sure I do, but I can't think of it at the time. So,
No worries. You have my number, so let's follow up tomorrow. So okay.
okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, for sure. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, all right. Does anybody have any comments or any feedback?
Is that DeMarcus or is that Dan? Is that Dan?
Dan was
Yeah.
Oh, Dan. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Anyways, hey Dan. I think this is our first time meeting. My name's Ricky. I've been working with Carlos for a while now. Just kind of introduce myself. But hey, I noticed in the beginning, and I want to be, and I'll just put this disclaimer out there. I always say it. We want you to be the best versions of yourself, right? We want to close deals. That's why we're here. So with that being said, in the beginning, it sounded like you were reading off a script. It was kind of like you were saying a lot, and there was kind of some pauses, and you know what I'm saying? Were you reading off a script?
Yeah, at first, because I haven't pulled up the flow chart in a while since Carlos was reading earlier.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? You refreshed my memory on this.
Okay, yeah, no worries. And then there was kind of like, as you were pitching terms, we just spoke about this yesterday, and it was just like being confident in like pitching, right, and understanding the numbers. And there was just moments of like you didn't seem so sure, so just kind of like confidence things that comes with continually pitching terms and continually doing that. But other than that, I thought you did well. You navigated the conversation well. You asked the right questions. You went through the main pillars, and a lot of people don't even do that. So you did well. The only thing I'll say is, and then I don't know if you pitch Novation, but don't be so quick to give up on that cash number. Hey, you threw out that soft anchor, like, and then you did, you asked that, hey, how close can you get, right?
Right.
And like I said, I don't know if you pitched Novation, but there's another step to that cash offer that we can offer a little bit more, right? So just instead of just going right into terms. But other than that, man, you did well, and I look forward to seeing you in here more.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ricky. That was good feedback, man. Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff, man. What I liked is, yeah, you kind of hear a little bit at first, you know, when you're getting used to the script at first, you kind of get back into it and sound like you're reading something. But other than that, like, it was good conversation, good flow. You just kept it consistent and steady. You just kept moving. And I like that you know, she was like, I don't know if it's not going to work, that you didn't just fold and say, oh, okay, I'll see you later. It's not going to work. Kind of like fought a little bit to offer stuff. And then she was,
Right.
then you kind of like, hey, don't hold on. Let me just kind of like, you plant the seed. You get me on the creative. Hey, let me just go over a couple things with you real quick. It's like you're planting the seed on the creative with it. So it's cool that you get to push it out there and stuff like that. I thought overall it went well too. Yeah, it went good. It's smooth. You know, you're able to maneuver through the conversation. You sound like, you know, you're getting comfortable on phone calls. I'm sure you've been doing it over the last year or so or whatever, this way. So I'm sure you're getting more comfortable as you go.
Yeah, I appreciate the calls, man. Much help for me too.
Hey,
Thank you.
Dan, I thought it was really great how you, you know, like you weren't like very pushy. You were, you know, you made me feel comfortable, you know, talking to you. And, you know, whenever I had a question, you didn't, you know, I didn't feel like you were aggravated or, you know, just kind of pushing me away. You made me feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Anybody else have any feedback? Sounds like we good. Does anybody have any questions on anything that we went over today?
The